Mm.
And we are live once again, folks. Ted and I are here. Say hi, Ted. He's
Hi,
messing
guys.
he's messing with you visually, as you know he loves to do. And Renz is in here. Glad to see you, Renz. Uh, let's see who was here first. Brian was here first, and then Eleanor, then Nigel, and now Renz is in here. And Renz is off to work, so he'll be back, I would assume. And
What's up, guys? Hey, Renz.
I hope everybody's had a good week. I had a pretty good week, except that all the problems I was having with my computer last week, and I was blaming them on Comcast. Well, it turns out it wasn't Comcast, it was the old guy using an old computer.
Wow.
After Ted and I got off, I started thinking about how long have I had that desktop computer, which was built just for me. But then I realized it was built 8 years ago. I'm like, oh,
Look at
no
that, guys.
wonder.
8 years.
8 years. Hey, that's got to be some kind of record for keeping it going. So, in any case, I ordered myself a new computer. It'll be the first time I actually use a laptop as my main. And I ordered what the heck? What did I tell you? It's an Acer. Hey, let me look it up just to tell
Yeah, you
you
said it
guys.
had a Ryzen chip, eight
Yeah, it has a
cores
Ryzen chip. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. It's
for video
a
editing, which I thought you were using LumaFusion for.
no, because I'm still able to edit faster on Windows. I guess because I'm used to it. You know.
Yeah, most likely. LumaFusion is supposed to have a big update, like around July, like LumaFusion 3.0. They're gonna let you edit off portable storage.
Oh,
They're gonna
really?
and they let you do speed rampings now. They're adding all more audio tools, plugins.
All
They're
right.
adding plugins.
Okay, cool. What is speed ramping?
Speed ramping, if I recall correctly, is when you play something on a timeline based on how many frames it has,
Okay.
you you can like speed it up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's pretty easy to do on the editors that I use on Windows.
Mm.
Okay. Just to let you guys know, I ordered an Acer Swift 3 uh, with the AMD Ryzen 7 chip. So it's got 8 cores, so it should be a good editing computer. Of course, the main reason I ordered it was for this stream every night and whatever other live streams I do. But it should really take the place of my desktop nicely. And it told me I was going to get it earliest July 2nd, but it's in Knoxville already. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to get it in the next few days, which would be really good. So for the first time ever, I'm live streaming from my iPad Pro. Now, of course, Ted's the old pro at using the iPad Pro for live streaming, but not George. I've never done it before. And many thanks to Eleanor. She got on with me last night and let me do some testing with her. And so the reason I'm able to get this live stream done tonight is very much thanks to Eleanor. So she helped a lot. And
Thank you, Eleanor.
yeah. And also, and I caught Ted doing a test the other night. And that's why he looks so pretty and sounds so good right now, because he was out there testing. You know.
Yeah. For
So
the
you see,
longest time, I had the best visual quality, but my
okay.
audio quality was lacking. So I had to fix all that. And with Prime Day and El Jefe suggestion, I took care of it.
There you go. So you see the lengths that we go to try to give you folks a good show.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm starting to sound like Google and Apple.
The legs. Mm-mm.
Exactly.
You know how
Um,
much gear I'm using? This tripod, this camera, this capture card, this light, the light stand,
and now,
an
folks, this is where you
iPad.
say that. This is where you say to Ted, "All right, Ted, lighten up." Okay, I couldn't resist that. So
I got a Mac, guys. I got a Mac for you.
let's see. There's your response from Eleanor.
I got this Mac Mini with too few ports.
Well, all Macs have too few ports.
Not the minis. The Intel Mac Minis had, a good amount of ports. But this is just the Minis just has the 2 USB A's and the 2 USB-C Thunderbolts, then an Ethernet and an HDMI.
Okay, so are you
That's that.
you're using some kind of adapter to get more ports, or?
Yep. I have to
Okay.
use this $10 thing that gives me 3 more USBs in
Hey,
exchange for one.
I'm using one here too, because I'm so used to my Windows. I'm used to working with a mouse. So when I use my iPad, I have a mouse for my iPad too. So anyway, all right. So get to the first story. Now, Ted's going to be in charge of sharing because I cannot share from my iPad.
Someone call me?
StreamYard. You good?
Someone is calling. Yeah, someone's calling me.
Okay. Oh, yeah, but what are they calling you? That's the key.
What are they calling? It's in my other room. I should have muted it.
I didn't hear it here at all. So, and I'm hearing you very. I'm
My
hearing you
ears
very
are picking
clearly.
up. You know when your ears are just tuned to the sound of your own phone, your ringtone?
Yeah, it's a
Like,
very eerie feeling. Oh, you walked right into that one.
it's like
All
a
right,
ringing in your ears.
Whenever you're ready to share now, you're going
But-
to share it, but I've got to pull it up. And how did I see it before? Because things show up very different on the iPad than they do on Windows. So let me know when you have it shared to see if I can pull it up right here.
Just gonna share the whole screen.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna share the whole window. Let me not share the whole screen.
Okay.
And then I don't have to worry about it.
I'm not sure that I.
Nigel hasn't said anything about a Huawei
That's
since
right.
we started streaming. I hope you're okay, Brian.
I'm assuming he hasn't gotten it yet. I know it's on the way. Do you have it shared?
Moment to pat yourself on the back and congratulate.
Yeah.
Okay, now why? Okay, I'm on the iPad. Why do I not see where it is? Let's see. Okay, I see it.
Affirmation, for example.
There we go. He found it, folks.
Okay, there we go. Oh no, yeah, but you want to click on the first story. You didn't click on the first story yet, right?
I know it's coming.
Okay, all right, all right. Just old folks bugging you. All right.
There you go,
Okay.
guys.
All right, so the first story is on The Verge. It is The Verge, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And all right. So I thought this is something that affects us all worldwide, really. The chip shortage will likely get worse before it gets better. The only real solution to the chip shortage might be time. One of tech's biggest problems in the past few months has been due to one of its smallest components, chips. Months into the shortage, the effects have spread far beyond the difficulty of buying an Xbox Series X or PS5. Car companies are being hit the worst, and even home appliances might start to see issues with supply. I can see that. Earlier this year, companies expected to have supply chains sorted and products more consistently back on shelves by summer. But June is nearly over, and yeah, we're in summer, and there's seemingly no end in sight. With the upcoming slate of big tech releases and the holiday shopping season coming up, expect things to get worse before they get better. We had thought probably 6 months ago, like everyone else, that it would be relatively short term. Jami Hindman, Chief Technology Officer at John Deere, commented on The Verge's Decoder podcast. But I think we're into this for the next 12 to 18 months. That's a long time. It's not just tractors and trucks, though. Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger voiced similar sentiment, commenting in a Wall Street Journal interview back in April that it could be 2 years before production is able to ramp up. This will take a while until people can put more capacity in the ground. And AMD CEO Dr. Lisa Su noted at a May investor event that the company was being forced to prioritize its higher end chips over lower powered parts due to shortages. There's two different forces at work here. For some products, there's too much demand, which impacts the higher end chips like the GPUs in a PlayStation 5 or an RTX 3080 graphics card. While chip shortages have undoubtedly played a part, there's also simply more people who want to buy these products than there are enough to go around. Yeah, that's for sure. Take the PS5, for instance, which is the fastest selling console in US history, despite the continued difficulty in purchasing one month after its launch. Even if we secure a lot more devices and produce many more units of the PlayStation 5 next year, our supply wouldn't be able to catch up with demand, Sony CFO Hiroki Toki said in a private analyst briefing, according to Bloomberg. Or take GPUs, which have finally started to drop in price over the past few weeks, not because NVIDIA has magically figured out how to churn out more parts, but because demand is finally slowing down following plummeting Bitcoin prices and China's crackdown on cryptocurrencies. It's in chip makers' interest to keep trying to churn out these parts. Newer chips are more lucrative. If you're TSMC or Samsung, it's in your best interest to focus on making and expanding those production efforts. On the flip side, though, are supply issues, particularly for older chip designs. Unlike a new iPhone or Xbox, a Ford truck or a John Deere tractor doesn't need bleeding edge chips using TSMC or Samsung's 5nm process. They use older chips, which are less powerful and less pricey than ones using brand new technology. The impact here is already being felt. A Bloomberg report from last month notes that car makers are starting to skip out on offering premium features like navigation systems or extra screens in order to stretch their supply of chips further. NVIDIA repurposed old GPUs into special cryptocurrency mining boards to free up more supply of newer ones for gamers. Even Apple noted it was running into trouble getting a hold of these older chips due to the extra competition. Most of our issue is on licensing those legacy nodes. There are many different people, not only in the same industry, but across other industries that are using legacy nodes, Cook said in Apple's Q2 earnings. Okay, I'm going to try this name. Revathi Advati, CEO of Flex, the world's third largest electronics manufacturing company, noted a similar issue on Decoder last month. Automotive semiconductors have been pretty outdated, she explains, noting that automakers either have no interest in upgrading to newer technologies, more on par with consumer devices, or foundries need to build up more capacity for those specific legacy chips, parts which aren't really useful for phones and laptops. Exacerbating the issue is that on the broader scale, the semiconductor industry has become increasingly consolidated. Despite the increasing importance of computer chips in virtually every hardware product across multiple industries, the number of companies that make those chips, especially specialized chips at the high end of the market, have grown fewer in number. TSMC alone accounts for 92%. That's a huge number.
That is huge. I wouldn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. Accounts for 92% of the supply of cutting-edge chips, with Samsung providing the rest. So just two companies, according to a Wall Street Journal report. The company also reportedly makes about 60% of the chips for car manufacturers around the world. Yeah, I can see that's a problem. Which means that when those companies run out of capacity, there's not a lot of other places to go to get those processors. That's also why chip shortages won't likely hit some of the biggest devices like Apple's next iPhone or whatever Samsung's fall flagship ends up being, at least not as hard as they hit Ford trucks or GPUs. DigiTimes reports that TSMC is already prioritizing Apple's orders along with those of car manufacturers heading into the fall. Because of the size and scale of Apple's orders, think how many iPhones it sells every year, all using cutting-edge chips from TSMC. It has the pull to stay at the front of the line. The bad news is that the crunch will probably get worse before it gets better. TSMC, Intel, and Samsung are all heavily investing in expanding and building new fabs. The Biden administration is also trying to help, pushing to pump billions into U.S. semiconductor manufacturing. But as Intel CEO noted, it'll take months, if not a few years, for those investments to mature. That makes perfect sense. And
Yep.
with the holiday season fast approaching and a new wave of products from across market segments all fighting for chips, there's almost certainly bound to be more production delays, cut corners, price jumps, and part shortages to come. So I just thought everybody should be aware that even though the world seems to be getting back to some kind of normal, I guess the chip shortage is going to be around for a while. So
It's said to affect inflation too. Mm-mm.
in fact, inflation, how do you mean?
Supply and demand, when the supply doesn't meet demand,
Oh, yeah,
prices tend to
that's
go
true.
higher,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
happening with GPUs now.
Yep.
And the housing crisis. And I don't know about the crisis, but yeah, and the housing situation.
Okay. So anyway, that's something that it's not just going to affect us techies. That's going to affect, probably pretty much everyone in the world, or most people in the world. So I thought that was a good story to start with. Now, the next story, Ted, that's going to be you, but I'll be probably interrupting here and there if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll just skip and do the third story. How much of this are you seeing? How much of this are you? I'm just like cycling through stories. Like, which one do I want to take? I'll take the third one.
All right. So give me the second one. Oh, we're not going to do the second one now?
No, you can do it.
Okay. All right. So pull that one up for me if you don't mind. But I got to get this off screen, don't I?
What are you talking about? I'm going to do the story. What are you doing?
Well, we're going to do
the third
your
story. I was
now,
going to
and
read
then
the
we're going
third
to go
story.
back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just trying to get it right. If I don't get it
All right,
right, I'll
so
get it left.
Google will now consider letting your video musical book app evade its 30% cut by Ian Carlos Campbell of The Verge. Google is opening up applications to a new program for developers of media apps that lets them keep more of what they earn, pay a lower 15% commission to Google.
You just froze on us for a minute.
In exchange for supporting certain platforms and features. The Play Media Experience program is another way to get around the company's 30% service fee. And it's also a mission that Google had already been cutting deals with some developers behind the scenes. Google is positioning it as the global expansion of a program that was previously invite only, though it doesn't seem to have been mentioned it before. If that sounds familiar, you might be thinking of how Amazon managed to evade Apple's App Store tax. Apple too explained that it had an established program for premium video apps, despite having never mentioned its existence publicly. But Google does have some key differences, like how it seems to be designed to push developers to better support Google platforms. While Google tells us it isn't exactly forcing developers to support Google TV, Wear OS, Android Auto, and the like, is asking them to support the following features and platform where it makes sense. For video, developers for living room first video services are encouraged to build apps for Android TV, Google Cast with a cross-device playback and sign-in integrations. Audio, developers for premium music and audio content via subscriptions are encouraged to build apps for Wear OS, Android Auto, Android TV and Google Cast. Well, yeah, I'm not going to be too mad at that, to be honest. Books, developers offering premium books, audiobooks, and comics should make tablet and foldable device update. Yes, do that. And
Of
build
course,
apps for
I
web.
think all of this is going to get. I think all of this is going to get Google in more trouble with the people coming after them. But that's just my opinion.
And for audiobook services, build app for Wear OS and Android Auto, because it's audiobooks, audio stuff, guys. Google also lists specific eligibility requirements on its site that may disqualify many smaller developers, like requiring over 100,000. Well, also lists specific eligibility requirements on its site, like requiring over 100,000 monthly active installs and a good rating on the Play Store. Also, despite what Google told us, it does publicly list some of its platform as required integrations, and Google is ultimately still making the final call on which companies are approved. It's not clear whether these apps will be able to.
So you can see why I'm saying I think this is going to get them in trouble. That paragraph alone is going to get them in trouble.
Mm-hmm. So developer benefits. Yeah, we'll do that later. It's not clear whether last year Google set a deadline of September 30th for all developers to adopt Google in-app purchases if they sell digital goods. Netflix and Spotify had already been evading Google's 30% by directly accepting credit cards. Google has mirrored other Apple Olive branches to developers as well. The company announced in March that developers' first $1 million in revenue every year would be eligible for a lower 15% commission. That developers, the first $1 million they make, would be eligible for a lower 15% commission. I guess they have to apply for that.
Right.
Apple offers a similar 15%.
But if you don't make them, right? But if you don't make that kind of money, you're not going to get that deal, which is saying that's preferential treatment. That's going to get them in more trouble.
Let's see. Apple's offers a similar 15% arrangement for developers that apply to its App Store Small Businesses program. Both companies already reduced their 30% cut to 15% when it comes to subscription services, as long as any given customer has been subscribed for more than a year. While all of these offers seem good for developers, they also show that things haven't been exactly equal for a while. Both companies still wield ultimate power, and if you're too big to ignore, you may have already gotten a better deal. And let's take a look at the Play Media Experience program, which helps developers test best-in-class user experience through deep product integrations. The benefits include additional discovery and engagement opportunities. So that just means they, if you're in the program, they boost your search up in the Play Store.
Right.
And service fee of 15% for applicable earnings.
For applicable earnings. That's key.
Primary app offering. So to be eligible, you have to have an app that offers premium video, audio, book content. So games don't count, I guess. And it can't be user generated. So I guess Facebook wouldn't count then, right? Or TikTok.
I would think it wouldn't. Yeah, I agree.
Or TikTok.
Right.
Over 100,000 monthly active installs, high quality experience with Google, strong Google Play rating, developer account in good standing, integration of specific Google platforms, API-based type media content, and additional requirements that apply depending on the type of media content. And then for video apps, they just go on to say what apps they require you to support. So Android TV, Google TV.
Again, the EU and the US are both going to say, well, you're forcing people to install your apps again.
That's going to get them in trouble. Forcing them to install the apps. That's just forcing them to make sure that they support the platforms that Google has.
But listen to what you just said. That's just forcing them to make sure. That means you're forcing them.
Yeah, it's a force. It's a force majeure. As long as they can say no and go somewhere else, right?
These regulatory agencies
and this is just a
don't want you forcing.
This is just a program.
Yeah, and a program that mitigates very much against anybody who's small and very much in favor of anybody who's big. Again, I think that's going to get them in trouble.
I mean, true, yeah, the program is like just have a preference for,
Big
apps
money
that,
makers.
well, no, the apps that make content. So apps for books, videos, and
But
music.
but it
Like,
very much gives preference to the big money makers, and 100,000 installs a month. Come on, that means you're
Yeah, true.
mitigating against anybody who doesn't get that.
True. That is true. So if you were just an average small
So-
town guy, you would probably be more interested in the where is it? The small business
The other,
one.
the
App
other
Store,
program, the small business program, yeah.
which started January 1st of last year. Any developer that earns less than $1 million per year is a developer. This is Apple's thing. I didn't see anything about Google's.
Right.
Okay, look at this. How
So
dare this ad?
the regulatory.
A camera that loves Texas nights. Who told you that I want your Texas name in your ad? Rude.
They have the nerve to put that in front of a Texas guy.
Like, how dare you?
Anyway, so I think generally that whole thing is going to get Google in more trouble with the regulatory agencies, but we'll see.
Yeah, because it does
All right.
favor
Now
it does favor
on to
bigger creators that make
Yeah.
videos, audiobooks, books, music. Let's just get rid of this ads.
And if you pull it up from the notes, you can actually listen to it on CNET. Anyway, let me see if I can just play it if you guys can hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear you, George. Sorry. I just noticed. I can't hear anything from you. Guys, if you're in the chat, let us know if you can hear George. Because it might very well be me and these cheap headphones too. That could be a possibility. Let me check my phone. Maybe it's me. Let me check my phone. Maybe it's me. Nope, it's you, George. Hey, Gary, what's up? You came just in time. George was ready to read his favorite story, Gary.
All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Exactly. No, because that happened before we started, and all I did was go out and come back in, and it was fine. So I guess it's okay. I guess I just shouldn't try to hit that listen button. All right, so John
Gary
McAfee,
had a name
70.
change. We have a new one in the comments. A new challenger.
Oh, Gary, welcome, sir. Since you weren't here, my computer has pretty much died. My Windows computer that with all the problems I had last week. I realized last week I've had that computer for 8 years, so I can see why it died. So for the first time, I am broadcasting from my iPad, which I know little about, and but it seems to be working okay. And I've got a new computer coming hopefully soon, and so I think we're doing okay from the iPad. And yes, your question there is exactly what we're going to talk about.
Can you imagine his Windows PC died before we could get Windows 11? So sad.
But
Press F in the chats, guys.
After 8 years of use, that's the key. I think I did pretty good.
F in the chats. For
All right,
George's
John
Windows
McAfee
PC.
dies in Spanish prison. John McAfee was found dead in his prison cell in Barcelona. Multiple news outlets reported Wednesday. The 75-year-old antivirus software pioneer's death followed by a Spanish court's approval of his extradition to the U.S. early in the week. The ruling was made public on Wednesday. Okay, so those who are going to buy that he committed suicide, it would make sense since the approval of his extradition just got approved, which means he knew he was on the way back to America to stand trial. And
George,
you can't hear
who's
me again.
John McAfee? No, who's John McAfee?
McAfee Software. You don't know McAfee Software? Antivirus? Okay, okay. You want McAfee, okay?
No, I mean, for any viewers that may not have known, McAfee.
I don't think there's nobody who watches this stream is not going to know what McAfee Software is. Come on.
Oh, so I mean, maybe they didn't put two and two together. Like, hey, he's the creator of McAfee
Yes,
Software.
he was the creator. All right. So in any case, there is an argument that he might have committed suicide, but there's a lot of argument about that. The death may have been by suicide. The Catalan Justice Department told Reuters. After the body was discovered around 7 p.m. local time, prison security attempted to revive him before his death was finally certified, and a judicial delegation arrived to investigate the cause of death, the Catalan government told AP. Spain's Justice Ministry didn't respond to a request for comment. Yeah, I wonder why. McAfee, whatever way you want to say it, faced federal charges of tax evasion and fraud related to cryptocurrency schemes. He was charged with failing to file tax returns from 2014 to 2018, the Justice Department said last year. None of the charges, which the AP reported carried prison sentences of up to 30 years, were related to the McAfee antivirus software. The software has been performing that just fine. McAfee had been on the run since 2012.
I think that means like he wasn't. What does that mean? Like he wasn't that money that he was making outside of from the McAfee business wasn't being reported. He never claimed those.
No, I'm thinking it means he was cheating on reporting his money from the software. That's my guess.
None of the charges which the AP reported carry prisons were related to the McAfee I think they mean that he didn't file tax returns on stuff that he did that was outside the business.
Well, yeah, he was involved in Bitcoin, so I guess it could mean just that.
I mean, yeah, there's loads of stuff a rich guy can do to make money outside of the business that he's in. Yeah,
exactly. But to me, the next paragraph is key here. McAfee had been on the run since 2012 after allegedly being involved in a homicide in Belize. McAfee denied any participation. In 2019, McAfee tweeted that his only crime is not filing tax returns and claimed the rest of the charges against him were propaganda by the U.S. government to silence me. But if anybody remembers, as soon as they suspected he was involved in that murder, he took off. And, so that's pretty suspicious. He was arrested by the Dominican Republic Armed Forces while docking his yacht in Puerto Rico. In July 2019, multiple let's check this out, multiple high caliber weapons as well as ammunition were reportedly seized at the time. Here's a guy suspected of being involved in a murder. He's got all kinds of high caliber weapons on his yacht, and he's been evading taxes.
I think he started evading taxes, it seems, after the murder charge.
Let's see. Well, yeah, that's true. That is after the murder charge.
So maybe that's because that was his way to spite America. Like, I ain't filing my taxes.
Well, I think, as far as I remember, he kind of took off as soon as that whole murder stuff came out in the news. He was on the run then. And my AirPods are giving me trouble. Give me a sec.
And then at spite, he was just like, I'm not going to even pay taxes.
then why did he have all those high caliber weapons on his yacht?
For pirates, George. You're on a yacht.
Okay. It just seems to me he's got an awful lot going on the criminal side. That's all I'm saying. The funny thing is, okay, he's arrested in the Dominican Republic in July 2019. Look at the very next sentence. McAfee then went on the run in Europe. So he's arrested in the Dominican Republic, and then what they do? Let him go so he can go run to Europe? I'm not getting the sense here. Are you?
Nope.
So anyway, then he went on to run to Europe. He was arrested in Barcelona in October 2020. I keep trying to figure out, how did he get away from the Dominican Republic? But they're not telling us that. Obviously, he got away somewhere. So
Apparently in London, he blames the Bahamian corruption and CIA for his jail stint in the Dominican Republic. Jesus Christ, that's quite the picture.
yeah.
After tweeting a Photoshop of his time in jail this week, apparently he also had internet access while he was in jail too. So like,
He's a billionaire. Come on.
look at this tweet. We are in London, a different world from the chaos of the Dominican Republic. Tomorrow I will lay out how an extremely corrupt Bahamian official orchestrated our deal with the help of the CIA. I will bring him down first, then decide what to do next. Who is this poor executive assistant?
I'm in trouble with my AirPods.
Damn.
Okay. I mean, this guy was into some heavy. Now, as soon as the CIA is involved, I get suspicious because they seem to be involved in an awful lot of crime in our country. So,
Not in our country, but outside the country.
no, the CIA seems to be involved in a lot of crime inside our country, not just
That's a shame.
outside. They seem to be
That's
involved
a
in a lot of crime all over, including in the United States.
That's a shame because they're not really supposed to operate inside the United States.
They're not supposed to, but the CIA, it seems like they've been getting away with stuff that they're not supposed to do for a young kid, and they're still doing it.
Anyways,
So anyway,
it's
I
really
thought that was the most interesting story of the week.
Science get annoyed by all this like this preamble or
Yeah.
not preamble, like this afterlude, like every time there's a story about suicide, like
Yes, but
You
I
might
don't
get
know if
triggered.
you've seen. I don't know if you watched the news about him this week, about him dying this week. I gather a few weeks ago he tweeted that he is not.
he's not the suicide type. If he said that if he committed suicide, it was actually a murder. And
Exactly.
to look at his right hand, I
And
don't
he
know what
said
was
that
about.
before he died. So, it's all really suspicious if you ask me. Just my opinion. And then you throw the CIA in there. Well, it wouldn't really surprise me if he didn't commit suicide. Are you hearing me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I just thought that was a very, very, no, Renz is back. Glad to have you back, Renz.
And now we got Brian in the chat.
Yeah, Brian's been here from the beginning.
Oh, I missed
Brian
that.
was the first one in. So Renz, first Ted. So you seem to be leaning towards he committed suicide.
Yeah, most likely.
Okay, and I'm leaning very much toward he was murdered. That's what I thought from the word go. They'd have to convince me that that's not true. Especially when he tweeted out that if he died, he didn't commit suicide.
It's funny how I'm not seeing any ads about McAfee.
Well, that's true. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought it was very interesting. All right. Okay to take this post down?
Oh, yeah. You would think, you don't want to go to a place that has extradition or that could detain you.
Yeah, that's
or just
true.
stay on your yacht, dude.
That's what I would have thought, and stay in the international waters. Okay.
But I guess that wasn't an option when they took away all his guns
Yeah,
to
exactly.
protect against the pirates.
And he couldn't, as a billionaire, just go over to Europe and get some more guns. Come on.
Europe guns.
If you know the right people, it doesn't matter what country you're in. Nobody's getting
That's
these
true.
guns legally. You know. Okay, next.
But it goes to show you, folks. I think it was in a movie I heard it. When you break the law, you don't want to do crime. Or is it when you do crime, you don't want to break the law?
Isn't that contradictory, or am I missing something?
It's because you're straight nose. You're too straight nose, George. Everything would have been fine had he just continued paying his taxes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And you're absolutely right, because I've said to Eleanor for years that normal people like she and I, like you and I, are never ever going to understand the criminal mind. That they just think way too different for us. I don't think we can possibly understand it.
What's the
All right, I got the next story is yours, and it's going to be the Apple story, right?
the Germany one? Yep.
Okay.
Mac rumors.
There it is.
But hold on. What's oh no, you can't. Can you click on Gary's comment? Murder was the case.
I agree with Gary. I agree with Gary.
Oh, and Renz. Oh, today's sponsor, Renz. You know, I don't really do the sponsors on George's week. I do it on my week, Renz.
Do you want to do a sponsor? I'll let you do a sponsor on my channel.
Look around.
And as you said that, what do I get on my iPad but an ad from Dairy Queen that just popped up?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't eaten in about over 60 hours, but I've just had water. So today's sponsor is ZTE smartphones.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, whenever you last seen a ZTE smartphone that wasn't a piece of crap. Well, not piece of crap, budget phone.
Okay.
When have you last seen a ZTE smartphone that wasn't a budget phone?
So you've
That
been
was
on
not
so
that
you're
was not
middle
in the hands of
60
Jay
hour
Will.
fast?
Hmm?
You're in the 60-hour fast?
I'll start eating tomorrow.
Okay. Well, proud
So
of you.
it's like 72 hours.
Proud of
Okay.
you. Now you need to give some will to Will.
Get some what, water?
No,
You need
give
some
some of
water?
that will to fast. He tried the fasting and he couldn't last, more than a day or so, or something like that, a day and a half.
Mm.
But I'm guessing you fast, Jerome fasts, but neither of you have any little kids and a wife around. So I guess it's a lot harder to fast when you've got a wife and kids and mother in the house with you. So I got to give credit for that.
I think that depends whether or not the wife cooks.
Yeah, well, that's probably true. Anyway, here is yours whenever you're ready.
All right, let me. Volvo. The car subscription from Volvo. What the heck is that? Let me just get rid of that. Apple faces antitrust probe into pre-installed apps, App Store, and more in Germany by Sami Fatih, June 21st. But before I get into the story, yes, Germany, break into Apple, get them, squeeze them, because I just got this Mac Mini, setting it up, and I could not get rid of anything. The only thing that I could get rid of was GarageBand. Which begs the
nothing
question.
else?
Nothing else. No, I mean, I left iMovie, but to be honest, I should probably, you know what? Let me get rid of iMovie right now, matter of fact.
Yeah, you never have any reason to use iMovie.
Yeah, between LumaFusion and DaVinci Resolve, which is free, practically free. Why would I use iMovie?
Yeah.
So where is it at? Where'd it go? Where's my applications? Yeah.
Yeah, Gary's mentioning about the budget from ZTE. Yeah, that's $60 is as budget as it gets, Gary. That's for sure.
Okay, there we go. Get info. Move to trash. No, that's not. You don't just simply move a system app or pre-installed app to move to trash. No, you gotta get another app called App Cleaner.
You're
then
kidding.
you gotta. Then you gotta, where is it? Where's iMovie? Come back out. There you go. Then you gotta drag it into the app cleaner. Boom, 2 gigabytes. Rude.
You're still educating me. Yeah, that's a real pain in the butt, that's for sure.
Boom, there we go. So yeah, besides GarageBand, which I already took out before, and iMovie, which I just took out, the rest of the apps that come on your Mac have to stay. Like this TV app, I can't get rid of it. Like where is it?
You should
Where's my-
be sure you should be sharing that so we can see what you're talking about.
Oh, oh, you didn't see me delete it?
No, you have the story up. I'll take the other story off from now.
I thought I was sharing everything on my
No, we had the other story up.
I thought I was showing everything on my window though. That's why I'm confused. Window, where are you? Okay, I see it now. I see what the confusion is. Let me take this off reader mode. Oh wow, very interesting.
Yes, I'm just waiting for whatever you put up there.
No, I'm just learning something. Apparently, when you're doing Sidecar, it seems that whenever you create a window
Okay.
on Sidecar, actually, yeah. I'm just confusing what Windows was. Okay, so let me just do the entire.
Meanwhile, Gary, let's see, what's Gary saying? What is wrong with having pre-installed apps on your phone as long as it's not bloatware, then let it be. But he's talking about his Mac Mini.
Boom, there we go. So what was wrong with having pre-installed apps on your phone as long as it's not below? Well, that's the thing. Usually if you're not using it, you have no need to use it. It's bloat. You
I
can't
agree.
get rid of it. It's that fine line, whether it's useful or not.
Yeah.
If you can't get rid of it, it's bloat. And I have now lost the windows. Crap. All right, let's see if this works. I need to call them back up. Okay, there you go. That's one. That's the other one. Boom.
Yeah.
By the way, this is all on the Sidecar on my iPad Pro 11. Fantastic stuff. I got to give major props to Google on this one. Google. I meant Apple.
Google? No, not Google.
Yeah. But so I got rid of iMovie. Now let's see if this is one that came on it. TV app. 47 megabytes. Remove. Still there.
Still there. Yeah.
Let's see. Stock app. I'm not going to be using this stock app.
My guess is you won't be able to. Let's see.
It tells me I don't have permission, George. I'm the owner. I'm the
No,
administrator.
Apple's the owner. They're just letting you use their stuff.
Get info. Let's see. Let me change some privileges. It's because you don't have the necessary permission when I try to change the permissions to delete it. Do you see?
And you thought you were in control.
So yeah, out of all this stuff, oh no, Keynote. They actually that was new to me. Like they include Keynote pages and numbers now. So
Okay.
you can't even get rid of those. Hold on. Let me see.
So there's just not much they allow you to get rid of, period. And this is one of the things they've gotten in trouble for.
Actually, I want to keep Keynote because sometimes I might use that to make a title. Where's the other one? Where's numbers? Numbers. Oh, I don't have numbers. That's okay.
Yeah, so you did get rid of that.
Pages. Do I want to get pages? All right. News. If I'm going to be looking at news, it's not going to be from this. Boom.
Yeah, I never. They're prompting me to look
Nope.
at it. I don't want to.
No chance. Music. See? Nothing.
News is still there. Yeah.
So yeah, Germany. Get him, Germany. Get him.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Does Ted have a? I'm looking at. Does Ted have an Only? No, I don't have an OnlyFans app. What were you looking at? For example, if Google wants to put Google Apps on the Pixel, it is cool with me. Um, hmm. I mean, if it's essential to the phone, otherwise, no. Let me download it from the app.
Yeah, but I think Ted's point is that it depends on whether, as a user, you want to use that. If you don't want to use that app, they should allow you to get rid of it.
Yeah, like have something that is necessary. That's necessary for me to use a service,
Okay.
to use a service of the phone or my
Right.
Mac. I did not buy this computer to be using Apple TV, even though, by the way, guys, if you just bought a Mac device up until July 3rd, you can use Apple TV for free up to a year. After July 3rd, you get it for free for 3 months, guys. So
Okay. Yeah, and when I got my iPhone 11, I did keep my Apple TV for a year, and I did watch it some, but I didn't watch it anywhere near as I watched Prime.
I wonder if is Apple TV available on can you Chromecast it?
Yes, I believe.
Okay, you can.
I believe I did a couple of times, and of course, we're using an old man's memory, so don't quote me.
Okay. So Germany's Federal Cartel Office. What are you trying to say? Yeah, I have no idea what they have on Apple TV. So anyway, Germany's Federal Cartel Office, the Bundeskartellamt,
Yeah, I rehearsed that a number of times myself.
Whatever. Today's initiated proceeding against Apple on the claims of anti-competitive behavior related to the App Store, its products, and other services, according to a press release. The proceeding against Apple announced today will determine whether Cupertino tech giant holds a paramount significance across markets and whether through its ecosystem, Apple holds enough power to make it difficult for other companies to check. Yes.
Absolutely.
What? Yes. What? But, duh.
I guess they're trying to be fair.
Andreas Mundt, president of the what's it called?
Bundeskartellamt.
The Federal Cartel Office, I'm just going to call it that,
Okay.
issued the following statement on the initial proceedings. We will now examine whether its proprietary operating system, iOS, Apple has created a digital ecosystem around its iPhone that extends across several markets. Apple produces tablets, computers, and wearables and provides a host of device-related services in addition to manufacturing various hardware products. The tech company also offers App Store, iCloud, Apple Care, Apple Music, Apple Arcade, and Apple TV Plus,
Plus,
as well as other services. Why Plus, by the way?
they started calling it Plus last year.
Is it to distinguish?
I
From the
don't
Apple
remember
TV?
why.
Huh. I'm very curious. I'm actually impressed that they didn't call something Apple TV Pro,
Yeah.
as well as other services as part of its service businesses. Besides assessing the company's position in these areas, we will, among other aspects, examine its extensive integration with across several market levels, the magnitude of its technological and financial resources, and its access to data. A main focus of the investigations will be on the operation of the App Store, as it enables Apple in many ways to influence the business activities of third parties. The press release is short on specifics on what the outcome of the investigation may lead to. However, the office says that if it determines a company be of importance across markets, it may prohibit that company from engaging in anti-competitive practices. The office says it has received various complaints relating to potentially anti-competitive practices, particularly relating to the recent rollout of the ATT, or App Tracking Transparency Framework. Well, that's interesting. This just got interesting.
Yeah.
In April, 9 industries associations representing companies like Facebook and publisher Axel Springer filed an antitrust complaint to the federal office, claiming that Apple's ATT framework will severely hurt publishers and their bottom lines deeming it a threat to their business. According to the press release, another complaint that the office received related to the pre-installation of Apple's own apps in of its devices. That one, I'm not, that one, yeah. The office directly references Section 19A of the German Competition Act, which states the abuse of a dominant position by one or several undertakings is prohibited, as a potential clause that Apple may be violating. Russia recently took the first major step against Apple for pre-installation of its own apps, requiring the company to show users a screen to download government-approved apps during the initial device setup. Similar, that's what Google does, but they send an email instead. Similar legislation being proposed in the U.S. Congress would require Apple to give users ability to delete all, delete all pre-installed Apple apps instead of select handful that users may currently delete. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. They were in trouble for that already.
June 16th, U.S. would, yes. Update Bloomberg and Echo, Jay from prohibits Apple from preventing users from removing Apple-created apps on their Apple devices. Yes. Yes. Yes, I want. Please pass that bill. The German cartel office. Yeah, show Rent's comment. The German cartel office also lists ongoing disputes regarding Apple's in-app purchasing system, which gives the tech giant a giant 30% commission of all purchases made, and a restriction that apps may only be distributed on Apple devices through the company's App Store and not on other third-party marketplaces. Apple has provided us with a statement in response to the investigation. Apple is proud to be an engine of innovation and job creation with more than 250,000 jobs supported by the iOS app economy in Germany. The App Store's economic growth and activity have given German developers of all sizes the same opportunity to share their passion and creativity with users around the world while creating a secure and trusted place for customers to download the apps they live with the privacy protections they protect. Germany is also home to the Apple's largest engineering hub in Europe with a new €1 billion investment, €1 billion investment in our European Silicon Design Center in Munich. We look forward to discussing our approach with the FCO and have an open dialogue about any of their concerns. That's nice. They're ready to have a conversation.
Anyway, I think the U.S. is going to be the big hero once they get Apple to allow people to remove apps.
There's all this stuff on the side of my iPad, on the left-hand side. I don't know what the heck they're for. Is it supposed to be like... I think this part is touchscreen. Yep, that part is touchscreen. Okay.
Oh, part is and part isn't?
Yep.
Okay.
So on Sidecar, like there's this like black bar side that has all these different buttons.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. All right. Oh, what's at the bottom? Nothing at the bottom. That's the toolbar. So cool. So cool.
All right. Next story is me, right? Okay. Okay. And this is more Google stuff. All right.
And European stuff as well.
This stuff, because I've been writing about the EU and Apple and Google for a few years now. And with this was on CNN Business, and it's by Mark Thompson. EU antitrust officials are investigating Google's vast ads business. And this video is just referencing the United States.
I can use my keyboard.
All right. London. The European Union has launched an antitrust investigation into Google's vast advertising business, claiming that the company may have disadvantaged rival services, making it harder for brands to reach consumers and for publishers to fund their content. The formal investigation, which follows a preliminary probe that began in 2019, will examine whether Google is distorting competition by restricting access to user data for advertising purposes, while reserving such data for its own use, the European Commission said on Tuesday. Google collects it to be used for targeted advertising purposes. It sells advertising space and also acts as an online advertising intermediary. So Google is present at almost all levels of the supply chain for online display advertising. Boy, that's a fact. EU Chief Antitrust Margaret Vestager said in a statement. We are concerned that Google has made it harder for rival online advertising services to compete with the so-called ad tech stack. A Google spokesperson said that the company would engage constructively with the European Commission to answer their questions and demonstrate the benefits of our products to the European business and consumers. Yeah, I guess they would, because the EU gave them the biggest fine they ever had. Google is already facing several antitrust cases in the United States, including one brought by the federal government, which accuses the company of operating an illegal monopoly in the market for online search and search advertising. The company generates about 80% of its revenue from advertising in the 3 months ended March 31st. March 31st, Google revenues in Europe, Middle East, and Africa totaled 17 billion. That's just for 3 months, making it the second most important region for the company after the Americas. Total advertising spending in the European Union was worth about 20 billion euro, $24 billion in 2019. It's a business dominated by Google and Facebook, which is already being investigated by EU regulators over claims that its use of data gives it an unfair advantage. France's competition, and we talked about this story last week or the week before last. France's competition authority fined Google 224 million euro, 270 earlier this month for abusing its dominant position in the market for online advertising to the detriment of rival platforms and publishers. The authority accused Google of giving preferential treatment to Google Ad Manager, its ad management platform for large publishers. It did this by favoring its own online ad marketplace, AdX, where publishers sell space to advertise in real time, according to the watchdog. As part of the agreement with French authorities, and we already reported this, Google committed to making it easier for publishers in France to make use of its data and use its tools with other ad technologies. We will be testing and developing these changes over the coming months before rolling them out more broadly, including some globally. The company said in a statement on June 7th. Google provides several ad tech services that intermediate between advertisers and publishers in order to display ads on websites or mobiles. The EU investigation will focus on a number of areas of concern, including the obligation to use its service to purchase or serve ads on Google or YouTube. The level playing field is the essence for everyone in the supply chain, said Vestager. Fair competition is important, both for advertisers to reach consumers on publisher sites, for publishers to sell their space to advertisers to generate revenues and funding for content. We will also be looking at Google's policies on user tracking to make sure they are in line with fair competition. According to Google, competition in online advertising has made ads more affordable, reduced ad tech fees, and created more options for publishing advertising. Well, what else would they say? The company also says that publishers keep about 70% of their revenue. Yeah, because you're taking the other 30% when using its products, and that the biggest advertisers use 4 or more of their platforms to buy ads. So I would think that Google's going to want to play ball with the EU because, last year or the year before, EU gave them the biggest fine they ever had in history. So,
Yep.
And when it says, they didn't say what was going to be the penalties. Well, the penalties probably going to be the same. They're going to hit them with bigger financial pen as they can. That's what the EU always does. So that's what I would expect. So I would expect Google's going to be playing ball with them. We shall see. So it's just like with the EU and Google, it's like an ongoing, continuous story, you know. And what are you reading? I can see you're reading something.
Just this last article, Rob North, Ian, yeah, just reading the contributors.
Okay.
Has made.
All right. The next one on Prime Video, that's you're going to take that, right?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
Take that. Take that.
Okay. Okay. Stream now.
Look at this. The ingenuity of the ad. Oh, but sure,
Yeah.
Renz, I think. Did you see Renz's last comment?
No, let's see. Yes, true. Screw ads, each and every one of them. I guess Renz is not a good fan of ads at all. You know, well, I don't know anybody who is, but Renz sounds like he's passionate about it. As well, you should be.
In 6 short years, Amazon has risen from the worst. Do you have your AirPods in?
Not anymore because they died on me. I didn't know they weren't charged.
Do you have anything at all?
I don't have anything on. Why is it? Are you getting a problem?
No, actually, no. I can hear myself talk on your speakers. It's okay. I'll get used to it.
Okay.
Oh, look at Will's here. Though. Take that. Take that. What does he mean? Take that. Take that.
I think he means the ads. I mean, he means them going after.
Making me think of a Puff Daddy song. In 6 short years, Amazon has risen from the worst to the first, according to the survey released by a consumer market research firm. In its annual survey of the smart TV and streaming box market, Parks Associates revealed that Amazon, which had a lowly 12% of the streaming video market in 2015, surged to a 36% share during the first quarter of this year. That makes sense. You know, I would figure they'll be high up since so many people buy Amazon Fire Sticks, and Amazon just wants to like give them away.
That's true.
Amazon shares top honors with Roku, which also has a 36% share of the market, followed by Apple 12% and Chromecast 8%. Damn,
Well,
Google.
you know, that's pretty bad.
Speaking of Apple, if you have a Walmart near you, go ahead and check to see if you can find an Apple TV for $100, 32 gigabytes. While Amazon's fortunes have gone up since 2015, Google's Chromecast have declined from its high point in that year of 21%. I mean, it's to be expected.
21% down to 8%. That's a pretty big jump.
I mean, what was it? Because, you know, for 4K, Amazon was doing it cheaper.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And, you know, Google only had the $70 Chromecast stick. And now, look, you can get a whole Apple 4K TV for $100.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Which is better than all their streaming stuff. While Amazon's fortunes have gone up, however, Chromecast standing could change. Our results were first quarter survey results. The new Chromecast for TV wasn't launched until the end of the year, so it's still early to see how it will impact the Google user base. We may not see the impact for a quarter or two. You know, funny enough, my girlfriend, she has a Chromecast. She has a Fire Stick in the back of her TV, but yeah, since I came into the picture, she hasn't used it. Because we just been Chromecast.
I use my Chromecast a lot. I almost never use my Fire Stick.
Yeah, ever since we just Chromecast up to the projector.
Yeah.
The stats we're seeing are very US centric, which is a base of Amazon's strength. It might be different if we're looking at Europe or somewhere else. A contributing factor to Amazon's rise in the streaming rack has been its aggressive marketing. Have you been seeing marketing from Amazon Prime videos?
I haven't. I watch a lot of Prime Video, but I haven't seen marketing. I just happen to love Prime Video.
That is the only place where I've been seeing the marketing when I'm on Prime.
Exactly. I haven't seen any place else. But I have to admit, about the only TV I watch these days is sports. Other than that, I watch Prime Video all the time because I love their shit.
Yeah, above all, the only thing I watch most is I've been watching less TV and more YouTube. Come to think about it, but and I just like if there's a show that just came out on Netflix, like I've been looking for, like recently Black Summer, I'm on that, or on Amazon, like when The Expanse comes on. But that's really it. I just follow the show.
And while I'm thinking of it, I just got a notification tonight. If anybody is a fan of Bosch on Prime, just started the 7th season, and I've been waiting for that.
That's not the old white man I care about. I want to see the other old white man, Goliath.
Goliath was awesome, but Bosch, I think, is an awesome series.
I'll give that a try. They're not just capturing the Prime subscriber base with these devices. They're capturing a lot of general consumers that shop on Amazon and see the devices offers at a discounted price. Yeah. Or they see it bundled with something they want at a discounted price.
That's
Yep. Prime
true.
Day is usually the best day to buy a Prime device, Amazon device. The key to success. IDC analyst Adam Wright sees 3 contributors to Amazon's success in the streaming market. It's content and services strategy, its hardware strategy, and its leveraging of broader smart home ecosystem and brand. It also probably helps that they don't raise the prices like Amazon. Netflix.
I agree with the content. I think they have the best content of anybody out there overall.
See, over the past few years, Amazon has done an excellent job in building out a user-friendly streaming platform that delivers a wide range of channels and content to the point where any previous major competitive edge or difference between Amazon and competitors like, say, Roku has been whittled down. Amazon has built out an attractive portfolio of streaming content, both original content via Prime Video and third-party content. Oh yeah, that would play it streaming rights with HBO and Paramount and Stars and all that. Like you can just add those on, which is a lot simpler.
Exactly.
But Amazon's success also lies beyond just the Fire TV streaming platform and streaming content he added. Amazon has done an excellent job developing its own hardware that is constantly being updated with new features, including things like 4K capabilities, HDR, and Dolby Atmos for better picture and sound quality. Moreover, he continued it has been exceptionally aggressive in its pricing strategy to the point where we see frequent discounts on the Amazon Fire TV streaming plays and lots of bundles of these streaming sticks and streaming boxes with other smart home devices, which help drive its sales and grow their user base. Weak competition. In addition, Amazon has built a very broad and robust ecosystem of smart home devices, ranging from smart speakers, displays, plugs, appliances, security solutions, lights, and many more, which has generated a spillover effect, helping it drive sales of Amazon's streaming players. Tight integration of the Amazon digital assistant Alexa is also contributing to the success of its streaming devices. Being able to use voice commands to control the TV functionality, yes, that is very good. I use the voice command with my projector and makes a particular difference.
Cool.
Much of it, seriously, like you could just be on the homepage and just strike a fancy to just go watch something, like, hey, play, play, Eyes Wide Shut. And
Right.
it will literally, well, in my case, I'm using, the Google Assistant, but it will go find wherever
It is.
whoever is showing Eyes Wide Shut.
Cool.
Apple has never put much emphasis at all on the TV in any form. They've made only a token effort.
That's
And
true.
TV business really isn't big enough for Google to worry much about. Yeah, I mean, what has Google done on the premium end for TVs?
Yeah.
Ericsson added that like all they did was the Chromecast 4K stick, but there's more than just 4K. You got to think
Right,
about the
that's true.
HDR. Ericsson added that Apple is very focused on its own ecosystem. The price of its offering reflected that they are not competing with mainstream devices by pricing them. This guy's English. By pricing their devices at $150 and up when majority of the volume in the market now is $50 or less. Wright asserted that Apple's market share has suffered significantly because it fell behind in the smart home race early on and doesn't have as much of an ecosystem to leverage compared to Amazon for driving sales of devices and generating those ecosystem and spillover effects. Google never offered much of a range or updates when it comes to the hardware, only recently receiving some revitalization with the launch of its new Chromecast with Google TV. New growth opportunities. Other competitors like Roku are continually looking for new ways to grow. A lot of the volume of streaming devices makers these days is in licensing. There are TV operating systems behind a lot of brands. Amazon has done little bit of work there, but not as much as Roku. Roku has also moved in making home theater equipment. Good job, Roku. Like soundbars with the Roku software embedded in it, offers its own content through the Roku channel, and in the recent purchase of the library of the short-lived short-form video service Quibi.
Yep.
The Roku Stream Bar. Gaming could also be a fertile territory for streaming device makers. All these guys have experimented with games. There may be some room for growth because streaming game services operators like Microsoft, Amazon, and Nvidia want to expand to television because in many cases, the games that they are streaming were originally designed for the TV-like interface. If there's one cloud on the horizon for streaming device makers, it could be the smart TV. I think one of the most pertinent factors that will have an increasing impact over the next 3 to 5 years is the rise of smart TVs. Currently, our surveys indicate that consumers are still buying streaming sticks at the same time they buy a smart TV, even though the smart TV can stream content. The reason is the capabilities of smart TVs are yet matched of those of streaming players.
That's
but
true.
smart TV makers are catching up quickly. I think we're going to see streaming players face some stiff competition from smart TVs in the coming years.
Okay.
That's going to be interesting.
And that,
We want to.
the sticks always beat the smart TVs for content. That's true.
I was even like thinking in terms of the sticks. I was thinking like in terms of, because you can put a stick in a TV, but for the more better stuff, like like the Fire TV Cube or the Apple TV, those are big things.
Yeah,
How are you going to how do you fit that in the TV and still
I
make the
got-
TV look attractive?
I got a super chat from Renz. Renz, thank you very much, sir. And he's saying, hope we get a 4th of July special with 4 horsemen. So
Hopefully, Renz, when is
I'll
4th
let
of July?
you and Mike know about that. Thank you, Renz, as always, very much.
Oh, hey, Butler. See, Butler, what it do?
But I have to add that in my opinion,
Mhm.
what makes Amazon Prime stand out is they own the Amazon Originals. Their content is just, I think, it's just outstanding, totally outstanding. And although I did just think, I just finished watching Hannah, which was about a teenage girl who was raised to be a killer with a bunch of other girls. And it was a great show. And I think that was a USA original. So they have third-party content too. But I think their own content is what makes them stand out. So
Yeah, sometimes like a network will disconnect or they'll drop a show and Amazon will pick it up. Like that's what they did with The Expanse. Originally it was on
okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, that's right. You told me that once before, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. See, the old man can remember if you give him time. Yeah.
So that's probably what happened with Hannah, which used to be a movie. Movie was okay.
Yeah,
Derek
I thought this show was awesome, just awesome. That's a 16-year-old girl I wouldn't want to piss off. I'll tell you that. Okay, yeah, I'm ready for that one. All right, next up, Serrano's in here. Hey, Serrano, good to see you. Glad you stopped by. All right, next back to The Verge, and I just thought this was an interesting story. Lenovo wireless charger for your laptop, and since I just ordered one, the Go Wireless Charging Kit is coming in October. Lenovo has a new product called the Go Wireless Charging Kit, which lets you retrofit wireless charging functionality to a wide variety of laptops. It makes use of power by contact technology from Energy Square rather than the more common QI standard. The kit contains 3.2 millimeter thick brushed metal charging mat that you plug into the wall and leave at your desk, as well as a long wireless charging receiver that attaches to the base of your laptop and connects over USB-C. I guess that's one setup. Lenovo said it should charge most 13 to 14-inch non-touch notebooks up to 65 watts. That's pretty good. efficiency of 93% and it'll work with both Windows and Mac OS devices. Cool. Wireless charging on laptops is pretty rare. Dell released what it called the world's first wirelessly charging 2-in-1, the Latitude 7285, in 2017. Although it was more of a tablet that could be charged through a keyboard base. Intel also made efforts to integrate the Renaissance charging standard into its laptop specifications, but nothing was ever released commercially. Lenovo released a Go wireless charging kit in October for $139.99. Sounds reasonable to me. It's part of a new range of Go branded mobile accessories, including a QI-equipped power bank, wireless mice, headphones, and keyboards. So I just thought that was an interesting story. And since I'm guessing by now I'll have my new laptop, which will become my main computer, who knows, it might be one of my future. I just think it's kind of exciting to have wireless content, wireless charging for your laptop. So what do you think, Ted?
Meh, I don't use wireless charging anything.
Well, I've never tried it on a laptop, but yeah, I use, like right now, I'm using the magnetic charger on my iPhone, but it's pretty much all I use. Although my, let me get rid of the story first. Let's see. That down. On my S21 Ultra, I will stick this one on the magnetic charger, on the Apple magnetic charger, and it'll charge there just fine. So, so I do occasionally.
You know what would be? Not, I would prefer like a wireless charging mat, so that and if your keyboard and your mice was wireless charging, like you just lay it down on it.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
it'll just wirelessly charge, like like something that just covers the entire desk.
Yeah,
that would be something cool.
But you can imagine what that would cost, also.
Yeah.
So anyway,
like I guess the one like MKBHD showed, where that was made by Xiaomi, where you just lay it down and then just like you see that little string just go there and find your device to charge.
Okay. But how much did that cost? Do you remember?
I don't even think it was available in the market.
Okay, so it never actually got released, just like the last one we read about. So anyway, I could see that in my future for 139. Anyway, interesting. All right, now we're moving on to the Microsoft story. This is the Microsoft story, right?
No, this is Apple Xiaomi bragging that it charged 40 devices at the same time.
Really? Okay.
Wirelessly. Sorry, guys, just window shopping. Let's see. Charging. No, looks like it's definitely not available for the market, it seems. The Microsoft story, yeah.
Okay. And I just included this because this was 2 days ago, and since it's
coming yesterday.
Sounds like they're making a big deal out of this, and it's going to be a big change. So anyway, it's your story.
Yay! That's Renz's retweet.
Yeah, thanks, Renz. Just saw your retweet. Thank you very much.
Asking again for the 4 horsemen.
Yeah.
Microsoft's Windows 11 announcement. All the free upgrades coming this fall. Microsoft's Windows 11 is designed to work with as many apps as possible. It also includes Xbox technology and Android apps. Yeah, that's nice.
Okay.
Hold on.
What are you looking for?
Just looking to perhaps get this mic up.
Okay.
Maybe I should just get a boom arm. There we go.
That's what Renz wants. He wants Will and Mike up. Oh.
So Windows 11. Windows 11, when you choose a computer or smartphone to buy these days, you have to pick between several factions. There's the Apple worlds, which includes the Mac computer, iPhones, and iPads, all designed to work together to help you share files, video chat, and watch TV as easily as possible. Apple does that very well, that ecosystem, which this live stream has been enjoying very much. There's also Google Land, whose Android software powers can be an array of phones, tablets, and computers. Tablets? Yeah, I guess they are tablets. Computers?
Well, Chromebook, I guess.
No, okay, I guess Chromebooks. But with Windows 11, Microsoft wants to break that mold. The software giant said Thursday that its next major version of Windows will launch free as a free upgrade this fall, offering a host of new features that in some ways appear designed to position Microsoft as the company whose products work with ones from Apple, Google, and pretty much anyone else. The company is expanding its support for the Android app, for example, allowing people to more easily run phone apps on their computer. I've been trying to do that actually with my LG when I had the PC, but it was never working.
Never successful?
Yeah, never successful.
Okay.
You know, like being able to send text messages and all that.
Yeah. Well, it's coming.
I mean, that's already been a feature on Windows 10, like your phone companion app, but I never got it to work. Have you? Did you ever try it?
I didn't try it. But I'm excited about hearing about this. So
let's see. Microsoft's building its Teams software into Windows in a similar way as Apple's FaceTime is into Macs, except Microsoft doesn't want it to be exclusive.
cool.
There's already a software Microsoft Teams app for Mac, iPhones, and Android. Satya Nadella even told a reporter that he'd be happy to accept FaceTime onto Microsoft computers. With Windows 11, we have a new sense of Windows' role in the world, Microsoft CTO Satya Nadella said while announcing the new software Thursday. Today, the world needs a more open platform, one that will allow apps to become a platform in their own right. Windows is a platform where things that are bigger than Windows can be born, like the web. That's quite the line.
Yeah.
Microsoft's move to upgrade Windows comes at a time when demand for computers is higher than it's ever been. Over the past year, the pandemic has upended billions of lives and forced many people to work from home. That meant many of them needed new computers, better internet connections. I wish we could see something improve on that end.
Yeah, right.
And peripherals like large monitors to display their work. Yes, I'm looking at a thing with the Mac Mini, guys, is even though it can run two displays, one has to be through HDMI and the other one has to be through Thunderbolt. So I need a new monitor.
Okay.
That's $400.
You should get a double monitor like I have.
Like I said, George, one has to be an HDMI and the other one has to be Thunderbolt.
Okay. I'm sure you could probably get a dual monitor that you could adapt.
This monitor that runs through VGA,
Right.
SCART, does not cut it, will not cut it.
Okay.
Now, as vaccines allow some countries to begin reopening, workers are pushing for hybrid work options, effectively making their home office experience permanent. Yay, I wish that could be me. For tech companies, that meant a boom in demand that helped lead to chip and other supply shortages across the industry. There was even a shortage in chairs at one time, guys.
Was there really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
last
that.
year. Office chairs, good ones. Still, analysts estimate laptop and desktop computers may see their highest ever sales this year. Below are all the details we learned during the Microsoft event Thursday.
Okay.
Windows 11 may be a big update to Microsoft-powered computers, but the company says it'll still be a free update for existing users when it arrives. Have I ever in my life paid for Windows?
I have
Nope.
only when I was working for Blue Cross and we got a huge discount, so it was pretty easy.
Like I know, like a lot of YouTube.
Paying for Office, never mind. I wasn't paying for Windows.
It was for the Office suite.
Yes.
Let's see. Like I know a bunch of YouTubers. They like to do the affiliates so you can get a Windows license for like $30. But really, guys, you don't need to. In fact, I'm pretty sure that a majority of Windows that are on computers are not paid for.
I agree.
Additionally, Microsoft said companies will begin selling Windows 11 ready PCs before lunch. Teams is taking on Apple's FaceTime in App Store. One of the biggest complaints about FaceTime is that it only runs on Apple devices. And even though Apple announced that this fall, Apple users can invite Android and Windows people into FaceTime calls, it's not like they have full access to the app.
Right.
Which means I guess you can't do the fun, face.
Well, didn't Will
Emojis?
say something like
Emojis?
that when he was on?
Hmm?
Didn't Will say something like that when he was on, like, about you don't have access to the app? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it works something like Zoom
Okay.
or StreamYard even, where they just get the link and you just, you're
Right.
brought into a
more
room.
likely, yeah.
Well, Microsoft believes its answer will be with its team software. The first way it'll do this is by building Teams into the Windows 11 taskbar, so essentially no need to install Teams separately anymore. With Teams available on Apple and Android already, that goes a long way towards helping Teams become a bit more competitive. Will Apple allow that? That's not all. Microsoft also said it'll allow developers on the Microsoft Store for Windows 11 to keep all the money they make.
Yeah. And that's incentive.
What? Oh, by the way, this Mac OS on the accessibility, you can actually, if you hover, you can actually do a pop-up so you can see it better.
That is very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then you can also do it like, oh no, did that wrong. I think you also do it like this. You can zoom in too.
Okay,
Before.
cool. I like it.
That was hard to do. I was only able to do that on Windows before, but now I saw it on the startup setup, through the accessibility features.
Very cool.
It's amazing how better Apple products become when you enable accessibility features. Just pretend you're disabled. So rather than the industry standard practice of charging up to 30% commission for app purchases, it'll allow developers on Microsoft Store Windows 11 to keep all the money they make.
Cool.
The tech giant also said developers can use any commerce technology they want, which again is a shift from Google's and Apple's policies of requiring app developers to use their payment processing service, which automatically deducts their commission. This seems developers are going
Yes,
to be
they're taking
like,
all the stuff that Apple and Google do that's negative to developers and getting rid of it. That's right.
Microsoft is making your computer more like an Xbox. They were mentioning games a lot during the Windows 11 thing. They said one of Nadella's newest mantras is that Microsoft is all in on gaming. Windows 11 with Microsoft's folding in features like Auto HDR, which uses computer intelligence to enhance the visuals in a video game. The difference is stunning. I don't know how much I feel about that for a video game. The difference is stunning. So like here, we got an example of just 80 of SDR and then Auto HDR.
It does look like a big difference.
There is a difference. I don't know. Maybe that's how the game was supposed to look in terms of its color.
Yeah.
I don't know. Microsoft, there's a bunch of new features. Oh, that's it. That's the end of the story. Oh, no. Microsoft and starts up. Yeah, that's the end of the article.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it sounds like it might be pretty exciting. And I'm a pretty big Windows user, so that kind of thing. All right. Now we're on to your favorite. Yes?
Yeah, hold up.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. All right. And
But once again, guys, F in the chat for George's computer that never got to see Windows 11. So sad.
That's true, but it did make it. Because I'm so impressed that I made it. I was shocked when I realized that I've had that thing 8 years, but it ran pretty much okay until last week when it really died. But
What did you think was dying though? Maybe you could have fixed it.
no, I've tried running it a few times, but every time I do some multi stuff, especially with something fairly intense, it just does the same as this week. So it's done. So I'm excited about getting my new one.
Just throw the whole thing away.
Well, no, it's going to take me a couple of months to get all the programs that I use onto the new computer and to see who's going to allow me to put the ones I paid for in a new computer, or who's going to make me pay for it again because it's going to a different computer.
Hmm. No. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the show where we once again talk about our favorite. Hey, go away.
You got that shit. Okay. Good.
Where we talk about our favorite subreddit, the Glowing Rectangle subreddit, which can be found at www.reddit.com/r/glowing rectangles. And the purpose of the Glowing Rectangle subreddit is for tech enthusiasts like you and me and our audience down below to go ahead and share a story or video about tech that they think other like-minded individuals might find interesting. Currently, our numbers are growing. Members of the subreddit is currently standing at almost 2,000. Ooh. And today's top story is, well, the top video today belongs to YouTuber I am Paul Obeli. I am Paul Obeli. And yes, he is a criminally underrated reviewer. He has a particular, very effective style when it comes to reviewing and talking about audio gadgets. So I suggest you go subscribe. And then, oh my God, this already got three upvotes today. Some gadget guy also put out a comparison. He hasn't done that in a while, between the OnePlus 9 and the Xiaomi Mi 11, and you guess you have to watch to see who comes out on top.
Yeah. And I'm putting out some contact from my Mi 11 Lite over the weekend, and that's thanks to Juan, who loaned me the Mi 11 Lite. Added clear blue, so I'm very grateful.
In fact, let me see if I can share the subreddit.
Okay.
Boom. Can I share it? Boom. Anyway, the URL is in the comments, I think. Is it in the comments? I have to wait 6 seconds for it to.
You gotta wait.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And then.
Waiting. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Third story of the day. This should be probably not be number one, though. Technically speaking, or Scott PG, I think that's what he goes by, got to interview the CEO of OWC, Other World Computing. If you are into getting the fastest SSD drives that are compatible with a MacBook from the previous years, you would know who OWC is. I actually have to save that story for later because I'm curious what he has to say. I'm guessing that, Thunderbolt 4, I'm guessing that the M1 Max is very good for OWC computing.
I'm trying to think if I ever watched him. I don't think I have.
Other popular mentions. Oh, look, funny enough, you mentioned a $60 ZTE smartphone.
There
and
you go.
Of course, it's also in the hands of Jay Will.
Yep.
Like I said, peanut butter. And there was a Gadget Chats podcast with Tech Valor and Gadget Goddess. Oh, also interesting, the best way to track your packages on your phone. This one is by TK Bay. I used to use the Slice app, but it got something happened to it. Like I think it got bought by Rakuten. And
Okay.
I'll stop.
I think I
Mhm.
tried it once, but I can't remember now. It seems like I couldn't figure it out or something.
And then last two ones I'll put are, I'll go ahead and give this guy a follow, a subscribe to Tech Dad Journey, especially if you're into internet technology topics. Very good storyteller as well. He was telling us one time when he used to have his own cell phone repair business and all the stuff he got into there. And finally, Microsoft Duo, Surface Duo by Tech Preacher, Eric, which can be,
Geez, Duo. Gee, I wonder who has that.
which can be had now for $549
Oh,
on
yeah.
Woot.
I'm waiting for this year's.
Why, you think something's gonna special is gonna happen just because Windows 11 came out?
No, I'm just, me, I just get excited about the Surface Duo in general.
Renz is saying, Renz is hoping he'll get he has a Huawei
I
laptop.
saw that. I had that. Oh, and thank you very much, Brian.
Oh, thank you,
And
Brian.
Brian is so faithful about super chats, and I'm very, very grateful about it. Thank you, Brian, as always.
Ooh,
So I
this
didn't
was
do too bad with my first stream from an iPad, did I?
no, not with me doing the heavy lifting, not at all, George.
With you doing the stuff. I admit that.
Now I get to see what it's usually is the other way around, where you have to share my stories. But I guess now it's
Well,
now I see how it is on the other side.
This is why we're a team, right?
But I've got to say, this iPad Pro and the Mac Mini did very well.
Cool.
The
Cool.
sidecar and then
You-
just being
You got
The
a lot going
sidecar-
on there, that's for sure.
the sidecar and just being able to hit the reader mode, and so you don't have to see all the apps and just seeing the words clear. Like, this might be a thing.
Let's hope you keep it, because you have this habit of changing things when you get it right, or selling something.
Get this book out of the way.
No.
No.
Renz, I will reach out to both Will and Mike and try and get us on. Let's see, next week. Yeah, because that's gonna be on Ted's channel, right? Ted, we'll be on you next week.
Next week, yeah, we'll be on my channel. I'm just straight up using this as a microphone now. Yeah, I'll be on
Okay.
my channel.
Look at
Speaking
that.
of
He
something,
looks like a professional announcer, doesn't he?
drinking that apple juice.
Well,
Brian, you don't
let's test
understand.
your professionalism. Let's see you say, let's get ready to rumble.
Ron, you don't understand. Between using Windows, a Windows PC versus an iPad Pro 11 and a Mac Mini, let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, you got to hold that a long time.
But no, it's an easy win. It's an easy win on Apple. Granted,
Cool.
there's two devices on Apple's side, but
Good. No, I think this may be your best streaming as far as sound and visually ever that I remember.
well, yeah, with the audio, yes, of course,
Yeah.
with the audio, the sharing, and granted, this was $50 for this mic, $1,100 for the Mac Mini, $700 for the iPad Pro,
Yeah, Ren's just giving you credit with the microphone.
$1,000 for the camera. I think, but the biggest impact I think is probably this mic, guys, isn't it? Which was the cheapest out of all of them.
Okay.
Think about that.
And Brian is saying that your Mac Mini is a very solid device. Yeah, see, and Brian is telling you how to hold that.
Oh yeah, but back to next week, guys. I have something planned. I suggest you guys hold on. Did I click on my Did I? Yeah.
Do I need to share screen? Do I need to share screen again?
I was gonna say no. People can click on my comment, right, to subscribe to my channel if they're not already subscribed and set a reminder. Yeah, because I have something special. The guy I was telling you about, Rod Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna make his live stream debut on our channel.
Okay.
On our
That's
show.
right. That's right.
Our show. His live stream debut. pretty much like what happened with David. It's going to be that same affair.
Right, but I'm still going to try to get Will and Mike in here. But
Yeah, it is.
anything I send them up, I'll include you on too, so you'll know what's going on.
Yeah, what I was going to say, not Will. Reg was asking them for 4th of July, though, George.
Well, 4th of July weekend is next Friday because Sunday is 4th of July.
What?
Yes.
4th of July is next week?
4th of July weekend is next week. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to be broadcasting the 2nd, and the 4th
right.
is that Sunday.
Yep, you're right.
See,
I was
the
thinking it
old
was
man's got it right.
Put Todd Talks FNT in the. Yes, Can you share Brian's comment? Apparently, you have to put TED Talks FNTT in the search. So when you're searching for my channel, you put TED Talks FNTT.
Oh, yeah. Well, guess
That's-
right. Because if you just put TED Talks, you got 1,000,001 pages.
Yeah. I tried with the search with the SEO guys, but as long as I have TED in my name, it's gonna bring up TED Talks.
Yeah. Well, let me.
It's gonna
let
bring
me-
up the conferences, those damn conferences.
I'm going to try what he just said. Talks FNTT. And I get, yes, it brings your channel up right on top.
Hey, nice one, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. That was very, very good advice.
I wonder if there's a way to make that for me to communicate that to people.
Cool.
And now I'm on Instagram. Let me get out of Instagram. All right.
As usual, Brian is teaching me stuff. Okay, so all right. So next week, what we're hoping to have is the new guy and Mike and Will, or at least we're going to give it a shot.
Actually, let me go ahead and show. Let's do a cast. Let's share the screen. Let me find him first. Let me find him first. Why the heck do I have 2 cursors, though? That's what's confusing me.
Yeah, that is weird. Well, maybe if you start cursing so much. Oh,
Duh.
yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Damn, look at that. He pops right up.
Okay.
75 subscribers. Let's see. Not too shabby.
Oh, okay.
But so, yep. So he got the M1 MacBook. I'm just thinking, what could we be talking about? What could we be talking about, you reckon? George, any hints?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to look up Orad Tech.
Oh. Anyway, put it in the comments, guys, what you think the next week's topic should be, since it's going to be a special one. A live stream debut, and maybe Will and Mike back in the...
That would be nice.
And what's up, David? You came into the tail end of the chat. I'll figure out something.
Well, glad you came in at all. I subscribe to him, so I'm good.
Boom. And this is my sidecar. You look at my sidecar wall. Can I change the wallpaper on my sidecar?
I have no idea.
Oh, you can. Okay. Oh,
Well,
no.
show us.
You can change the top background. All right, let's do it.
There's the wallpapers there. Yeah. Okay.
Fill screen. Now what do I do? I don't see what I'm doing. I already picked it up. What's going on? Secondary desktop. Change picture. No, I don't want to change the picture every 3 seconds. No, I'm not seeing how to do it. Ah, there we go.
There you go. Okay.
Now, how do I close it?
Gee, you're fumbling just like the old man does. I like it.
Found it. There we go.
Oh, that's
Boom. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at it on my monitor, my main monitor, which on my iPad Pro, the photo looks fire. I took this photo on the Axon 7, guys.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I think it was sunrise.
Okay.
And looking at it on the main display, looks disgusting.
Really? And of course, as soon as you brought it up, my mind went to the Eagles. And now the sun's coming up.
Oh no. Wait, hold on. Are you seeing that, by the way?
Yes.
Do you see tearing? There's tearing?
Yes.
Okay, you're seeing the tearing?
Yeah.
Ugh. So it looks like there's some tearing. There's some tearing that's happening on when you're doing sidecar and you're sharing the screen.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit.
Nothing too horrendous.
No, it looks nice though.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
where were you when you took that picture?
in the alleyway, my house.
Oh, I thought you were in a valley somewhere. That's how cool it looks.
No, these fences are people's backyards.
Oh, David, thank you so much. He retweet for us. Thank you so much. Very grateful.
Yeah, Brian, Axon 7 was a beast. I should power mine on sometime.
I haven't turned my Axon 7 on in 7 or 8 months.
Not since Christmas
Okay.
last year.
But none of us ever get rid of our Axon 7. No matter what, we keep it.
Nope.
I know my Project 13 has his. I think Paul Tech still has his. I know Jay Will still has his. Nobody's getting rid of an Axon 7 ever. All right, so we good to go?
Yep.
All right, thank you everybody for coming in. I'm glad I was able to successfully do a show for the first time with my iPad. To help during the show from Ted and a little help in testing with Eleanor, and I'm very grateful. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful and blessed weekend. And you too, Brian. And thank you, Brian and Renz, as always, for the super chats. And we will be on Ted's channel next week, and we'll have at least one new guest, and hopefully the four of them will be back together. We're going to try, Renz.
Fingers crossed.
All right, so everybody have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Okay.
Bye.
And a press pause. Let's see. Wait, I'm on iPad, so it's different than I'm used to doing. Okay, there we go.